Welcome to the PAPShow, where we hold everyone to account and unpack the big issues shaping Nigeria's political future. Tonight, our focus is squarely on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, its stewardship so far, the promises made, the realities on the ground, and the criticisms pouring in from the opposition parties on the one hand, and indeed from the ordinary Nigerians, just like you watching on the other. Let's start with the facts, first of all. Well, Nigeria today is facing one of its toughest periods in history. Inflation is excruciatingly biting harder than ever. Insecurity persists in and around the country, and questions linger about the government's political will to tackle corruption. On the other hand, there have been some strides. For example, the removal of fuel subsidy, though controversial, but freed up some funds. And while state governments receive more naira, federal contractors have protested in the capital, citing inability of the Tinubu administration to pay them. The government has also introduced the student loan scheme to make education more accessible to the poor, and efforts are underway to stabilize the naira. At least that's what we hear from the government. But are these enough? Let's unpack them one after the other after this short break. Welcome back. I am Umar Isa Dandago, your host on the PAPShow. And joining us tonight is Daniel Bwala, Special Advisor to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on policy communications. Well, he is definitely one of the loudest voices defending this administration's record. Daniel Bwala, thank you so much indeed for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Good to see you. And it's good to see this platform as well.
Excellent. Good to see you. I have been watching your interviews, somewhat controversial interviews on national TV channels and many of them.
Right.
And I feel utterly honored to host you on this show for the very first time here. And there's going to be a lot of interesting topics to talk about.
Right.
Well, before we dive deeply into the crux of the conversation, you recently have appeared on Arise News and you were trying to make some points, controversial ones, as you always do. And then one of them tried to fact check you,
Right.
and you pushed back. You said London has more investments than any other city. You used the word state, but city in the UK. That's correct. That has turned out to be correct. But the most controversial is when you referred New York as more economically stable or strong than California, and that turned out to be false.
So it's good that you raised this question again because we didn't get the chance to discuss. The lady started by using the word larger, which was not what I said. I said infrastructure. I still stand by it here. New York has more infrastructure than the state of California. Economy, California cumulatively has stronger economy than New York. And the reason I use the word infrastructure it was because the premise of the question was on infrastructure. Why did President Bola Tinubu earmark large sums of money to infrastructure in Lagos? And then in the computation, they took out Lagos from the southwest. That was the question. That was the context.
Okay.
And so, in answering that, I started an example of Lagos as a cosmopolitan city, which bears the entirety of the country. And the economy of the country rests on the progress and development of Lagos. And that whatever investment you put in there, the beneficiaries are the Nigerian people, not just the Yoruba people. I also went further to now say that the richest African is a northerner
From
but
Kano.
from Kano, but his business is not in Kano, but in Lagos. Any for infrastructure that strengthens Lagos benefit is investment. And I said almost all the rich men in Nigeria will have one business endeavor or the other. So I still maintain infrastructure-wise, you can check it. Infrastructure-wise, New York has better and bigger infrastructure than the state of California.
Okay, but then California is more economically strong than New York. Yes.
Yes.
Or no? Agreed or not?
No, so let me put it
Economic
this way.
wise, California
Yes, only because of
Mm.
the Silicon Valley, right?
Mhm.
So, but that
Hollywood
wasn't
is there,
economy.
Silicon Valley is there, a
Yes,
lot of other stuff are there.
right. But that
Mm.
was not the question I was asked. Infrastructure was the subject matter.
And land size is also another factor to look at.
Definitely, which was not relevant to
You
the
should
question I was
accept,
asked.
you should admit
That
that you were fact checked at that time.
you have even free to fact check me, but she was wrong. She made a conclusion, and the conclusion turns out to be false. You can fact check me as well. Now, it's not
Okay.
only she.
We're going to do
I
that.
want to say it for the opting time
Okay.
that infrastructure-wise,
Mm.
the state of New York has a better infrastructure compact
Mm.
as compared to the state of California.
Okay, let's come back to the reason why you made that issue and you were
Right.
fact checked. Lagos. You said that, okay, Lagos, okay, the development of Lagos can translate and trickle down
Yeah.
and affect the rest of the nation. But
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people also have
Mm.
this assertion or thinking
Mm.
that developing Lagos, giving Lagos more priority than other states in the country at the expense of other states in the country would amount to that conspiracy theory
Mm.
suggesting that Lagos or this government of yours has the ambition, has the plan of moving the capital back to Lagos.
There was never a president in Nigeria's history who did not devote time to the development of Lagos and its infrastructure. And we have had more northerners as presidents than the southerners. And yet, the people who
And is
built.
that fair? Is
Pardon?
that fair? Is that fair?
Yes, because that's
To
the
concentrate
that's
the
the
development,
commercial.
infrastructure
Let me tell
development
you,
of the country on Lagos.
my
Is
brother,
that fair?
it's fair.
Okay, it is
For
fair.
the reason.
But
For
undemocratic.
the reason, no,
but undemocratic.
democratic and fair. But let me explain. For the
Okay.
reason that Lagos is the commercial nerve of the country. And let me take you back to history.
Okay.
If you want to apply this line of conspiracy as we talked about,
Mhm.
then you remember in those days we used to have the capital of the northern Nigeria as Kaduna.
Mhm.
Enugu is the capital of the east and Lagos. Was it fair that there were development at the time in Kaduna as compared to other states in the north? Same with Enugu and Lagos? No, it is not a question of fairness.
Okay.
It is question of cosmopolitan nature of the cities
Mhm.
and developing a broad-based economic growth in the city so that the nation will be served. So the point I'm saying, no matter what you put in Lagos, the beneficiaries are not limited to a tribe. Everybody benefits.
Okay.
And if you don't put the infrastructure in Lagos, Nigerian economy will suffer. And when it suffers, then the other smaller states that depend on revenue that come from Lagos will not get it.
But that is also worrisome, to be honest with you, as a lot of people
Okay.
would put it, because
What is
making Lagos.
what is the worrying part of it?
Okay, making Lagos economically stronger than any other state of the country is also going to strengthen and reinforce another conspiracy theory suggesting that Lagos is going to break out from Nigeria and become an independent country.
You see, this kind of mundane thinking and base
And
thinking.
when that happens,
Let
it
me
is
come-
at the
no, it's a-
detriment of the
let-
other states.
No. It's a mundane thinking.
Mm.
Usually, and I'm glad you use the word conspiracy theories.
Because it's not my opinion.
Yes, it's not in all cases that conspiracy theories are not even things to be discussed. And I give you example.
Okay.
If you know the Washington D.C., of all the states in the United States, Washington D.C. is one of the poorly developed states. That's the capital city.
Mhm.
If you go very close to 22nd Pennsylvania Avenue, where the White House is
situated.
you will see potholes.
You've been there.
I
I haven't.
go every
My
time, so
producer has been there. Usman
he
Kabara.
would probably tell you. So one time I was asking the taxi man,
Okay.
why is it that there are more potholes in DC than other states?
Okay.
Then the person filled me in by saying that the way the United States work is that the rest of those states, they generate their revenue, but a fragment of what comes from the states plus the federal allocation, whatever it is for the federal government, is what they use in developing Washington, D.C. And he said, if not for the government agencies in Washington, D.C. and the White House, that Washington, D.C. will almost look like a slum. But that is the capital seat.
Okay.
Now, a base argument will be, why do you allow California to grow? Why do you allow New York to grow?
Mhm.
Because it will amount to benefiting, like in New York, you say it amount to benefiting the Italians and the Jewish people who found themselves more in terms of the number, even in commercial activities. Or why are you benefiting the people in California that now benefits people who are from the North America, Mexico, all these other guys that are there. If you look at the Silicon Valley, in fact, the most liberal state in the United States is the state of California. That's why you find this problem currently going on.
But in the US, there is no fear that California or New York would break away and become an independent nation.
You see, this fear of breakaway of Nigeria will be, I believe that conversation was on before you were born. I don't know if you're up to 40, but before you were born, there was this conversation. Nigeria has never, even when America predicted that by 2015 Nigeria would break away, did Nigeria break away?
So what's the point? What are you trying to say?
No, I should ask you, what are you trying to say about the narrative of breakaway?
What are you trying to say? That Nigeria is not going to break away because of divine intervention? Or what?
No, the word breakaway was brought by you. You give the context. I have just responded to you that
I put to you
thought itself,
the narrative out there that people are careful. I'm not careful. Are conscious, are worried that concentrating too much on Lagos development, infrastructure development is at the detriment of other states, and it's reinforcing the assertion that Lagos could one day break away and become an independent nation. And that would hurt.
I would have loved to ask you, who are the narratives out there? You see, one of the controversy of the media is that they conjure things and put it on faceless people. If you call a certain group saying this group,
you're attacking the media now. Because we are trying to ask
I'm a media person myself.
Okay, I know, but because we are trying to ask you to prove one point, and now you are trying to
let me put it. Let me be frontal. I will prove it. Tell me the source. Source information is an integral part of media. In fact, it forms the basis of the credibility of the media. You must give a source. What is the source?
When answering questions from the journalists, you don't have to demand the sources simply because some sources are, supposed to be anonymous.
Okay,
no, you're trying to make this a joke. Let me
tell you this.
I said
permit me to say something.
You are clever and you're very good at deflecting. I know that.
Say something. You see, don't toe on that path that some mischievous journalists do. Okay. Everywhere in the world, I say you can fact check that. Okay. When a journalist is giving an information, right, that is critical of the government, for which demand is made for government response and intervention, they give the source. Where you, for example, will give me, and I'm not trying to quote you, you are a media person, and to say the source is anonymous is you must disclose the fact that yes, you have a source, but the source is anonymous. And usually it is the print media that do that, not television.
Okay.
So
you want me to
the ethics of television is that you will say
A and person B,
whether Ariwa group so and so or Peter Obi said so and so, because these are not spirits. But it's okay by me.
It's a conversation on the street that the real Nigerians are having.
Then I could say, I go to the street.
You are detached from.
I could say, we're not detached at all.
Elite.
No.
Very
we're
much
in
detached.
the street. Why am I in your program? Your program is not it's nascent, right? It's not a legacy media. Okay. But you have a demographics. Wherever there is a demographic, you see us there. We go to the streets, we go to the marketplace. I am not about the person that will run away from any opportunity that I have to bring accountability of government to the people. But what I'm telling you,
talk to the ordinary people.
Yes. Well, but what I'm telling you,
I go to the street.
I go to the street.
The Abuja streets or Borno State streets or Northeast.
Go to the next question, because if you want me to give information and you ask, permit me to answer. Don't conjure, right? Okay. We go to the marketplaces and price items. Okay. Recently, we were in the northwest of Nigeria. We go to the street and do what we call street advocacy. We hold what we call coffee meetings with people from different demographics, the farmers, the students, and the rest, and we talk to them. I don't know who else is an ordinary Nigerian than these individuals. So sometimes when the media mirror a question and say, this is the feeling of the ordinary Nigerians, then I wonder because whether the answers we have been given is given in relation to spirit. When we talk about government program for feeding, dealing with healthcare, who are the people suffering at the lower end? The ordinary Nigerians. If you look at, for example, the maternal health, the government program that has given free cesarean section throughout Nigeria, who is it meant to be affecting positively? The ordinary Nigerian. When we talk about the farm products, providing farm products, tractors and the rest, who are these items meant for? The ordinary Nigerians. When we talk about federal government pushed out rice to be given to people who are suffering, when we talk about feeding programs in schools, who is it meant to? Ordinary Nigerians. But you see, media do not appreciate that.
Okay.
They love the narratives of hiding behind anonymity, or anonymity.
Okay, that's the word.
Right?
Okay.
Anonymity.
Because
To now push
word.
their own media agenda, which is
anti-Tinubu government. That's what you are trying to say. The media
Yes,
is anti-Tinubu.
not
Are you
all
saying
the
that
media.
we are anti-Tinubu?
No, you are not.
Okay.
Because I have not been able to evaluate you yet. This is the first time
Okay.
I'm getting to meet you. But it's very possible that you could be influenced by those who have cut their teeth in the media.
What if
of them?
What if we are not influenced by those who are anti-Tinubu?
I will only know or not know, not by conjecture, but by the questions you ask.
Okay.
And
Let's
I am
move on.
responding to you,
Yeah.
responding to you very well. Take it very well.
Yes, sir.
About this fact of development of Lagos and the rest. Let's just clear that one out.
Okay, clear.
Lagos is the commercial nerve of the country. Every country of the world that you go to, they have their commercial nerve where revenue comes more. You know, Lagos has, and by the way, let me put it this way. It is only this recent approval of federal government for project that has generated conversation. But take that one out. Is Lagos the same with all the states of the federation? Do you know what Lagos contribute in terms of revenue that they share across the federation? Was it federal government that sent the money there? It is generating. But Lagos needs infrastructure. Take, for example, Dangote spent, according to him, about $30 billion to set up a business. I'm telling you, if Lagos had better infrastructure before now, he would have spent less. But with this infrastructural development, who benefits? Take, for example, if Dangote groups benefit, Dangote is not a northerner. Wouldn't Dangote want development in Lagos, although he's a northerner? So that is clear.
Okay.
The second point has to do with this possibility of breakaway. In life, you confront your fears, and you do not allow your fears to control what you can or cannot do in life. Anybody who wants, we have been hearing agitation for a breakaway from a certain people in the Southeast for God knows how long. Has it happened? Nigeria is solid as a united Nigeria. We have disappointment because of political class, but effort is being made, and you can see what President Bwala Tinubu is doing in terms of unifying the people. How do you do it? By redistributing the wealth of Nigeria even to those who do not have that opportunity. Okay. I can extend this argument.
More Lagos people, more Yoruba people in the power.
But that is wrong. We proved it to be wrong. Okay. 2 days ago, when the Northeast Governors Forum visited the president, which I was privileged to anchor, they told the president how much he has done in the northeastern Nigeria.
What if, forgive my word, what if it's a propaganda and they're looking for some kind of favor from him?
So who would you believe now? Because the people you will believe, they are anonymous now. So who will you believe?
No, mark my word. The people that we talk to are the real Nigerians, the ordinary people that are suffering from the kind of poverty. Some would say exacerbated by your economic policies. I recently,
if you have talked to a farmer, I don't think there is any farmer in Nigeria who will tell you, don't tell the government I'm suffering. Okay. So they are not the ones. You see your reference now, you're dragging yourself to the lion's den to tell me that the anonymous people you are talking are still the elite. Because if you are talking to ordinary farmers, you won't be afraid to say, I was in Kano in the market and I met Alhaji Garba Musa. He is a farmer, he's selling so and so. This is his complaint. Does it amount to breaching his anonymous privilege? Because he will never tell you anonymity and anonymity. Problem for that. He will never tell you that. Okay. So it is still the elite, the opposition that the media mirror, and they say it is still the Nigerian people because we are always on the project of the Nigerian people.
Your point is that the media in Nigeria is so reliant on the opposition, and that's why they are what? Anti-government, right?
Well, that's your word.
No, that's your word. Your word?
No. What did I just say, and what have you said?
Okay, let's move on. We're going to talk about other pressing issues that I want you to explain in a great detail. Okay, first of all, still on the economic hardship. Okay, I'm going to put this question to you. For context, let me read it out. The current government came in with the mantra of renewed hope, and for many Nigerians today, that hope sort of feels very distant. For example, inflation is over 30%. Food prices are at record highs, even though you dispute that, I know. Insecurity and unemployment are rising. As a close aide of the president, can you categorically tell us that your government's economic policy, his economic blueprint, is working in Nigeria, looking despite all the problems we have
So the economic policy of the president is presently visible to the blind and clear to the ears of the deaf. Because when we came, we know where we were. I will give you an example of the general states of the federating units. 27 states, by the time the president assumed the office, were having problem of paying salaries. That's why at that time the argument was the states were bankrupt.
Okay.
That is not the case now, because when we remove subsidy and unify the exchange, we had increased revenue. And the states have now experienced some 200%, some 300% of increased revenue. So they are paying salaries. That is one area of dealing with the fundamentals of the economy. Because when states get more revenue, states are able to pay their obligations, take care of workers, develop the dispensaries, revamp the healthcare system in the state, boost security by the local vigilante, embarking on projects like roads, hospitals, and the rest. From the center, trickling down to the state and to the local government. Secondly, we were able to increase, for example, a few days ago, the president talked about increase of meeting our revenue target in August, which is record-breaking, which has now helped for us to look at areas in which we can boost. I hope you know, aside from revenue allocation by states, governors come around, tell the president we have one need or the other, and he releases funds for them. Even the governors, the Northeastern Governors Forum that visited, they mentioned a lot of projects that they looked to the president, working on that. And the president said he will look at them.
Yes.
If you look at other areas, for example, the healthcare we talked about, look at our various, in the states of the federation, where you see the revival of the hospitals. These are economic indices, right? Look at education. You mentioned the NEL fund, how that we're giving a lot of people. The last time was 300, now it's close to 500, about 400 and something thousand people are beneficiaries. It's our program, it's our promise in the area of education infrastructure. You can see road construction across all levels of the federation. So all of this are more, which if time permits, I'll reel out, are the development that tends to deal with the fundamentals of the economy, so that the economy will not die. Because when we came, it was in critical condition. Now it is at a recovery stage. When you perform a surgery on a patient that is critically ill, probably at the point of dying, successful surgery, they bring him back to the recovery room. And at the recovery room, you monitor his progress. So President Bola Tinubu, through a very strong leadership, courageous leadership, because he took decisions people did not want, was able to conduct a successful surgery. Now we're in the recovery room. A very important answer to the question you raised about inflation, the suffering of the people. Whenever you remove subsidy and unify the naira, it means those areas that before now, hitherto was said to be an area where you're subsidizing, may have been assumed to be making life easier for the people. But what you, the media, don't tell the Nigerians is that the federal government was borrowing 3 billion to subsidize this. And National Assembly, before President Bola Tinubu became president, conducted an investigation and said over 68% of our subsidies did not go directly to the masses. That these guys collecting the subsidy also take out this fuel outside Nigeria to sell them. So when you take that radical reform decision, it is always painful. Now, you may need to call an economist and ask them, whenever you're conducting a reform, will there be inconveniences? The answer is a capital yes. Will there be temporary pain? The capital will be yes, after which the people will build. That is the reason we are where we are, and we are making the progress. So constantly our job, my job, is to communicate the effectiveness of this policy and encourage the Nigerian people to keep faith with government. We're going to come completely out of it, and the future of our children is what we are trying to secure.
This interview is getting very, very much interesting. And when we come back, more and more, pressing national issues will be discussed, analyzed, dissected, and I'm expecting more pushbacks.
Yeah, sure.
All right, we're going on a short break. When we come back, the conversation continues, and you're watching the PAPShow with me, Umar Isa Dandago, and my guest tonight is Daniel Bwala, the special advisor to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on policy communication. When we come back, more and more interesting topics will be analyzed. Stay tuned.
Take a seat on the Political Advantage platform for real conversations about Nigeria by Nigerians. Follow our live stream across these channels and learn how it all affects you. Every Sunday, you have a chance to stay ahead by staying engaged and informed. Tune in to the Political Advantage platform to share in real conversations that matter to you.
Welcome back. This is the PAPShow with me, Umar Isa Dandago, and my guest tonight is Daniel Bwala, the special advisor to President Tinubu on policy communication. Thank you very much indeed
Thank you.
for coming back.
Thank you.
Well, okay. Let's move on. Still, there's a follow-up question because you talked about how your government's economic policies of removing the subsidy, and you use the word unifying the naira instead of
Unifying the
devaluing the
exchange.
naira. Some people
No.
say
Unifying is not instead of devaluing.
okay, but some say that unification of the naira has led to the devaluation of
Correct.
the currency.
You're right.
And that's a terrible thing for the ordinary people, whose income has not increased.
Yeah.
And instead of say someone gets 50,000 naira salary every month, and before your government, before the APC government, he could afford to buy a bag of rice, beans and whatever, all the food stuff and other things like that. Now it's impossible for him to do that. So the ordinary people would say they don't understand all the economic calculations, the macroeconomics, and the GDP and whatever. They only understand when they go to the market, this is the price, and it has doubled or tripled in some cases. What would you
Which
say to them?
explains
What would you say to them?
Yes, which explains our responsibility to now explain to them
Okay.
so they can understand.
Okay.
Which is the reason I'm here on your platform to talk so they can understand.
Okay.
Which is the reason why the federal government is using all avenues to communicate the same to the ordinary Nigerians so they can understand. We do a lot of advocacy campaigns in communicating that. We hold interviews, we do Zoom meetings, we do podcasts, we go to the streets where we meet ordinary Nigerians in their marketplaces, in their schools, where we discuss with them government policies and how they can track the progress of the policies. There are times we communicate to them innovations in the policy implementation and how they can key in. Like when you go to universities and polytechnics, we tell them that they can take advantage of the NELFON program and then access if they are indigent members of the society. If they are market women or rather transport workers, we tell them that is a CNG program, which is an alternative to fossil fuel, and it's cheaper, and that they will take the benefit from there as commercial drivers. We also go ahead to tell the market men and women in terms of the food items, whether fertilizers, those who are into farming, or those who are selling, how they can take advantage of the government program. We communicate. Above all, we tell them in clear and unequivocal language that yes, when you are doing a reform, there will be temporary pain. The president has never at any material time shied away from explaining that it is a temporary pain. I want you to believe in what we are doing. The economics have also agreed with us that it is a temporary pain. Even the opposition know that when you are doing a reform, it is going to bring temporary pain. The opposition's only argument against us, that we did not provide the buffer before implementation. Then we ask them, put yourself in our shoe, what could you have done? They have not been able to answer. Because our case is that if we had money at the time the president came on board, all you do is that you provide this buffer, these interventions well ahead of time. Make a lot of transport almost free to the people. Make sure there is food everywhere. Make all these things put in, but there was no money. And now you cannot even have the money because NNPC almost became like a comatose. Then the places we go to borrow were not willing to give us money unless we can show concrete economic plan that will take us out. We can't keep borrowing to pay salary, borrow to eat. So that decision of the president created the temporary pain. But I'm happy to let you know, where we were 2 years ago is not where we are now. Even the hopelessness and pain of the Nigerian people is no longer the same. Nigerians, majority of them have adjusted. Because, for example, if you talk about the farmers, they have begun to take advantage of what government is bringing. Talk about the students, they've begun to do it. So Nigeria, even the ordinary Nigerians we're talking about, have shifted, have moved away from this narrative of the media. They are now asking us to tell them more of government programs.
Of the media.
Yes.
Still attacking the media.
Yes, exactly.
And
move away from
thing,
there, they are now telling us, tell us government program we can take advantage. They believe in what we are doing.
Thank God you have admitted
4 months in a row, my brother, 4 months in a row. Look at the Bureau's data. You see food inflation going down. All these things with
because
time.
the government has imported food
measure
outside.
Whatever measure
killing the farmers. Whatever.
Has any farmer in Nigeria complained to you?
A lot of farmers have complained.
Give me an example of one. You will say anonymity again.
Okay, you've already made up your mind. No. We're not going down that path. But then one thing that people always talk about is that you talk about the pain, even though you said it's temporary, and people would like to know when is that temporary pain going to end. But my biggest concern is people are becoming much poorer and much poorer by the day. But then you people in the government are living a very expensive life, lavish life. You dress well. I'm not envying the dress, but then you dress well. You drive flashy cars, and we see you traveling to other countries, for example, though on official purposes and so on and so forth. And they would say, okay, are these people at the top really experiencing or going through what we are going through?
Right. I will respond, even though your question is in the abstract, but I would assume the premise of your question and give answer in the hope that the assumption might probably meet the premise of your question.
Let's hope
one, if it is what I'm wearing, this is very cheap. One, and number two, I have a second address before the appointment. Those who know my life in the past 10 years, you know how I live my life before appointment. So.
I'm not personally talking about you. I'm generally talking about government officials.
I'm giving an example. Okay. So, and I live a modest life. I don't flank riches or whatever, because that will be disingenuous to the people. You study the mood and you flow with the mood. In terms of the government has, President Bola Tinubu has consciously implemented policies that tend to reduce the cost of government. And you remember when he issued a policy directive, if you're an appointee, a minister, you are not entitled to more than a certain number of cars, more than a certain number of security. All foreign trips shall be reduced to this. These policy directives were issued a long time ago. We've communicated that to Nigeria. Everybody understood.
And strictly adhered to?
Strictly adhered to.
Good.
And if there is, the work of the media is that find any appointee of government who is violating the orders of Mr. President. Any appointee violating them, bring it in the media. That's the whole idea of and you will see whether the president will take action or not. There is not a single person appointed in this government that the president cannot fire if the person violates his order, directive, or violates his program. So this is it about that. Now, in terms of, because the only argument that has ever been canvassed around that was when the president bought a plane. When the federal government, not the president, bought a plane for the convenience of the president. The president is the chief marketer of the federation. And for us to be able to attract investors, we had investor problem. When the president came, they were leaving. Because the climate was not conducive for any form of policy that could give them hope. So he implemented those policies that could give hope on return on investment. Now he needs to go and meet them wherever they are. Now, if you are going to travel like that as a president, if you are ordinary Nigerian, do you want your president to crash on the road? No. You want the president to have a very comfortable and convenient way of traveling within a short time to achieve the aim of the government. So we have justifiably explained.
And the number of the entourage.
He has reduced it. That's what I was telling you about the policy that he reduced substantially. President has the shortest, the smallest delegation in any of his trips.
But in Brazil, we saw him startled, surprised at the number of people that were there waiting for him to land on the plane.
You don't know. No. Brazil, Nigerians in Brazil, go and find out. There are quite a number of Nigerians in Brazil. And the president also comes from the southwest. Majority of Nigerians in Brazil are Yoruba speaking as well. So it's an
the
honor.
big, what do you call it? Big trade deals between Nigeria
Exactly,
and Brazil.
which we have direct flight coming in, investment in here and there. So, and look at the achievement. President does not go and live without concrete something at hand.
Excellent. And that brings us to this issue.
Okay.
When the president has traveled, or when the president travels to these countries, Japan, Brazil, okay, forget about Paris and London because it's sort of personal to him, as some people put it, and all those countries, what can you say have we Nigerians benefited from those trips? I'm sure
So
you've been a part of some of them.
for example, since you mentioned Brazil, let me start with Brazil. Before now, there is no direct flight from Nigeria to Brazil, right? There are other trade and investment that we have had over the times with Brazilian investment in Nigeria that was dwindling, shrinking. When the president traveled, we dealt with the one of that direct flight. Now, transport boosts trade. Transport improves relationship.
Yes.
Transport promotes culture and exchange. Transport can cause anything. The link between Africa and the West is what changed the gamut of Africa. It was through transport that the West even came and colonized in the first place. So the president has dealt with that. There are other concomitant events with all the bilateral signs. With time, follow up, then you begin to see the implementation in specific areas of interest to both countries, shared interest. So that's an example of Brazil. You remember when he traveled to UAE, we have now seen that federal government has paid the legacy, the debts on the foreign flights. You see Emirates, people, Nigerians can go to Dubai and the rest. This is the type of president who believes in results. He goes and comes back, he comes with deliverables. Because if these journeys do not have deliverables, then we become hopeless.
Okay, you talked about follow-up. Some of the critics of your government are saying that without ambassadors appointed to those countries, the issue of follow-up would be like a distant hope and somewhat virtually impossible.
You made a good question. You made a good point.
Yeah, good observation.
And yes, good observation as well. And the president, even before your question, has addressed the issue 2 days ago.
Okay. What did he say?
When he was visited by the members of the CPC faction of All Progressive Congress, and he was talking to them about our foreign missions. And he said the challenge we have is that of funding of our foreign embassies. We know the challenges in all the foreign embassies, right? And that he said he's looking into it. But in every embassy where there is not an ambassador, it's a charge affair, right? There are Nigerian representatives there that can communicate with the foreign government on matters of bilateral, multilateral.
They can do.
It can be executed. But we also understand the importance of having an ambassador, especially because it will boost the credence and the respect that the country will have towards. The president, who knows, tomorrow the president can decide, even in the midst of this cacophony, he might just identify the G20 countries, right? And they send ambassadors to these G20 countries.
Which Nigeria is not a part of?
It's Nigeria. G20 countries, that means countries that belong to the G20
group. And Nigeria is not a part of it.
Nigeria is not a part of G20. So those countries, you consider them as serious countries, right? In terms of doing business economy. So if you have an ambassadors in those countries, it can strengthen that. I am saying, who knows? The president might look into it.
But now there is nothing like that on the ground.
One thing I can tell you.
There's nothing like that on the ground.
Yes, that's why I say in the future. One thing I can tell you is that this president is a listening president.
Wow.
Yes, whenever you come and make a good case for something, he will find an answer to you. Either it is implemented immediately, or he will look into it and implement it, or he will tell you why it is being delayed. And that's what he told him. He said, not as if I don't know, but it's because we have funding issues. And he promised that he's going to look into it.
As a Nigerian, pretty much interested in foreign policy, I am giving you a message, and I hope you relay it to the president, that he should consider sending ambassadors.
He has already said it.
Okay, good. Okay. How popular is your president? I can see on your Twitter page, your X page handle, his picture with Luis Inacio Lula da Silva, one of the very amazing presidents I know in the history. Yeah, in the history of the world, he was president. He was voted out. He went straight to jail, and he came back. He resurfaced, and now he's a president again in Brazil.
President.
Yeah, definitely. He and Tinubu, as I can see on this picture, like he has held the Tinubu's hand. He's holding Tinubu's hand up.
Sign of cooperation.
Okay, both of them are smiling. In fact, Tinubu is a bit laughing, and I can see a handshake. How popular is your president abroad?
Our president is popular abroad, but that's not our target to chase popularity. President is enamored by the concerns of the Nigerian people. If you see him, you see he's not about name, about fame, and the rest. He focus on when last have you seen the president react to all the noise of the opposition? He focus when he comes calls you. He asks you on your responsibility in relation to the Nigerian people. When we the media engage with him, he wants to know how far you have gone communicating his policy to the people.
Do you know the reason why I asked of his popularity abroad is simply because Narendra Damodar Das Modi, the Indian Prime Minister, is considered as very charismatic leader in the world, and that's why the other countries are interested in doing deals with him. If he is not popular, or if he doesn't care about global popularity, then how would other countries trust him to do deals with him that in return would benefit Nigerians?
You see, you are missing the point. Popularity does not mean positive review.
Okay.
You can be popular for the wrong reason. Yeah. You can be popular for the rest. For example, the current president of Syria, he came from ISIS. He's popular now in the Middle East.
Ahmed al-Shara.
Right. But may not be for the right reason. There are, I'll tell you, like Vladimir Putin is very popular in the world. But there is a greater part of the world that they will tell you they don't countenance his popularity. We are not on a popularity campaign. We are on a mission to ameliorate the sufferings of the Nigerian people. And let me tell you the popularity of the president. That's why wherever he turns to, he gets the attention of the world. That's why any nation he travels to, he gets instant result, not promise, instant result, and he comes back with deliverables. If you are not positively popular, you cannot get all that. Then you have countries of the world calling on him and seeking collaboration for them to advance their interests in Africa. Let me add, I doubt if there is a president in terms of positive popularity in Africa that beat that of President Bola Tinubu. The president that comes close might be the president of Rwanda.
Paul Kagame.
Right. And President Bola Tinubu, remember, immediately he became president because of the mettle, because of the charisma, because of what he will bring to the table. Immediately, ECOWAS made him the leader. Before recently, he handed over. So if you are looking at popularity, that has established the case for him, but that's not his focus. President is about improving the life of the Nigerian people.
And you're saying he's doing that?
Exactly, very well. He has improved your life. If the nation has not
Don't
improved,
make it personal.
What I mean is, if economic-wise, we are not making the progress, probably this platform may not have been established. I know you will say it's arguable.
Yeah.
But now our pride is that this platform was established during the administration
Nigeria is
of President
democratic.
Bola
No,
Tinubu.
because Nigeria is a democratic country, not because of your administration.
So, but if we are not,
not
thank you for the use of the word democratic. If we have not advanced democracy, would you have found the freedom to establish a platform?
Whether your government likes it or not, we must establish a media organization. I can see from the angle you're coming. I received someone similar, and he said similar. Yeah, he said something similar to this right where you were sitting, and that we wouldn't have been able to do what we are doing had it not been because of your government. No, to be honest with you,
no, I didn't say because of our government. I said we have advanced and promoted democracy, that free speech is entrenched. And I like this platform because this platform is not apologies to our government, but the reason it is flourishing is because this government, this administration, entrenches and promotes free speech. That's why I can come to this platform to be asked any question you want to ask, including the anonymity questions.
The administration led by someone being accused of being authoritarian.
Who accused him?
A lot of people have accused you.
No, I think it's Donald Trump people accused of authoritarianism.
Tinubu also.
Who did? Who did?
A lot of people have.
Anonymous again?
Okay, I'll give you names.
Okay,
we're going on another short break. When you come back, we're going to the last part of the interview where we're going to take a look at other interesting topics with my guest tonight, Daniel Bwala, the presidential special advisor to President Tinubu on policy communication. And as you have seen, is being able to ventilate the policies of his government and so on and so forth. Thank you so much, Daniel Bwala. We're coming back in a few seconds. Okay, this is the PAPShow with me, Umar Isa Dandago. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and watch our interview. The channel is at PAPShow NG.
Take a seat on the Political Advantage platform for real conversations about Nigeria by Nigerians. Follow our live stream across these channels and learn how it all affects you. Every Sunday, you have a chance to stay ahead by staying engaged and informed. Tune in to the Political Advantage platform to share in real conversations that matter to you.
All right, welcome back. This is the Pop Show with me, Umar Isa Dandago, and my guest tonight is Daniel Bwala. And we've been talking a lot about these administration's policies towards Nigerians and how impactful they have been, positively or negatively, on the ordinary Nigerians. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Still talking about Lagos, accused of being prioritized against against other states. Recently, Daily Trust released a report indicating that 3.9 trillion naira projects have been approved. Yes, over 2 years. Then the question is now, numbers don't lie. Would you categorically
The numbers don't lie, but Daily Trust can lie.
No, who told? Okay. Let me put this question: would you categorically and in all sense of honesty say that the kind of attention that projects in Lagos have been receiving is the same as the one the Kaduna Abuja road is receiving? Because recently somebody who visited the Eco Atlantic section of the Lagos Calabar Expressway reported that the project is alive, pretty much alive, and work is going on even at night.
So you have asked that question earlier, but I'm okay that you brought it back.
No, this is specific. Kaduna Abuja
Yes.
road. Okay.
But Kaduna Abuja is in the north.
Okay. It is.
The argument all along has been north and south.
Okay.
In fact, this is southwest and northwest
Okay.
at the time.
This one is specific.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, you cannot redistribute the approvals for project in the same proportion. The level of need for infrastructure are not the same. I have established from the beginning that Lagos is the commercial nerve of the country. They are not the same with Kaduna. In fact, not the same with any state in Nigeria. So if Lagos needs, let's say, seven carriage road, you don't just say, let me go and put 7 in Kaduna because I'm putting 7 in Lagos when people are not applying in the demand that you find in Lagos. Number 2, I made the point. Lagos is a melting pot. Lagos is the commercial nerve. Lagos is the cosmopolitan city. If you go to Kaduna, it's cosmopolitan a bit, but not in the same proportion with Lagos. So if you are approving projects to be done, especially in relations to infrastructure, I'm talking of infrastructure because when it comes to giving stipends or dress, you can bring the issue of proportionality. Except, of course, you would also factor in the issue of population, right? Now, but in terms of infrastructure, it can never be equitable because the demand for those infrastructures are not the same. You understand what I mean by demand, right?
I understand.
Right.
But we're specifically talking about the project, the attention given to the project. The road has been like, the first time it was awarded was in 2018, December 2018, during Muhammad Buhari. And for God's sake, up to now, how many years?
No. We took over. I think 2 weeks ago, somebody applied Kaduna, Abuja Kaduna Road visibly with journalists. Journalists reported the work is ongoing and going very, very well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very well.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And okay, is that in time frame? When is it going to be concluded?
It's between the contractor and the issuing authority.
I said it in my introduction that recently contractors have been complaining, and some of them even.
Kaduna, Abuja.
No. Specifically in Abuja, they blocked the entrance of Ministry of Finance. Yeah, and complaining that they haven't been paid. The government owes them.
They have a right to complain, and then the government will look into it.
Okay.
If the government has a reason why they are not paid, because one thing about contract job is that some are genuinely complaining in the sense that they executed their part, they needed funding to move to the next stage, or that they've even completed, they needed their payment. At other times, you will find contractors who have not even done anything and they want money. Probably they were awarded the contract in the previous administration and there is a demand for them to meet to those demands, and they've eaten the money and they need money and there's a deadline and they will start complaining. So when you have a combination of some might have a genuine case, some cases might not be genuine, Then comes the issue of investigation.
Specifically, is your government going to do something about this?
If it is not going to be doing something about it, why are they in that place, for instance? I mean, when the Minister of the FCT came on board, he was very transparent. In fact, he's one of the ministers that hold briefings, and I would suggest that you attend. If you want your platform to be there, I will speak to him.
Okay.
So that you will be hearing his report about the progress he's making with infrastructure.
I would love to have a one-on-one interview with him. Would you facilitate that?
I would try, but I can't guarantee. Okay. But I would try. But if it is a media platform where he's at, because he is not only on rare cases he does this one-on-one with one media team, and because so he likes to have media parley where the media will be.
But the northern Nigerians would like to have a platform for him to speak.
Okay. I'll facilitate that.
Please do. Thank you very much. And okay. Let's move on. One of the guests that we recently hosted, Salu Tonkoya Kase, wrote an opinion piece, and we invited him after that, and he talked about turning Emilokan into Lagos Lakun. I'm sure you've been addressing that.
Explain that.
Emilokan into Lagos Lakun. That's how he titled the article. He belongs to your party, the APC. He worked for.
I have not seen the article, so I have to be
okay. But we hosted him. His interview is there on our channel, and we asked him to defend himself. We put him on a hot seat. But the question is, there are some people from your government who feel a little bit tired of the trajectory and hopeless of where the direction of your government is heading to.
Okay. Are they identified or they are anonymous?
Okay, one of them is your Senator Ali Ndume from your own constituency. Right. He's your senator. He is seen because he was interviewed by Charles Aniogolu on Arise News a couple of months ago, and he was tagged on that interview
we've trashed that issue.
Not here. He was tagged as the enemy within because he belongs to your party and the government, but he's very critical of the government. And some of you
that's what the Democratic
are not happy with him.
No. The only
so there are a growing number of people from your own party who are now critical of the government.
So I can only speak to facts that can be. That's why I had to deal with anonymity. But now that you've mentioned him, when he came up with that issue, I think he even insulted some of us who are his media aid. I was also on the same I went to the same platform he used in countering that, and we were very clear about his agitation. You know, there are personal interests involved in it, and all of that, and we gave a context to it. But in a general sense, members of our party are entitled to feel aggrieved if they are actually aggrieved. It will not be a true democracy if you say everybody should bottle up their anger. But when you express your frustration, be clear about it and be honest with Nigerians so that Nigerians will know whether it is personal interest or national interest. The problem we have is that they hide under the cloak of national interest, but in actual fact, they are pushing their personal interest. That's why I like Senator Marafa. A few days ago, Senator Marafa came on air. He said, it is my personal interest.
Okay.
I like people that are honest. And he gave his own explanation as to the reason why he believed he should have been appointed.
Okay.
So people who are honest like that, it's very easy to deal with them.
Is Ali Ndume personalizing stuff?
Yes, he personalized because he wanted to see the president several times. And he said it in the television, not that he hid it. And that didn't happen. Okay. He started attacking. And when they say, but why don't you...
But why was he blocked from seeing the president?
No, he had seen the president twice after the president became president.
Twice?
Yes. There are people who have not yet seen the president once, and they support the government. Okay. Seeing the president is not part of the manifesto of the president that when I become president, you will come and see me. But I will deliver. Like me, I am from Borno. Yeah. When the Northeast governors came to the president, after our governor, the governor of my state representing them, talked about the needs in the Northeastern state, I also echoed to the president that the president has not only identified the needs, he even went ahead and appointed ministers and appointees to deal with those needs. Take, for example, my brother.
Yeah.
When we talk of agriculture, poverty is largely in the northern Nigeria than anywhere else because of, insurgency. People are traditionally farmers. They can't go to the farm, whether northeast or northwest or northeast. You know what the president did? Apart from providing intervention to take care of that, he ensured that the ministers of agriculture and livestock come from the north. Now,
And still,
yeah,
northern Nigeria is considered as the capital of hunger.
You know, when you have a large-scale hunger and then you began implementation, you cannot wake up tomorrow morning and say you've dealt with it.
Okay.
But when you look at it, is what are we doing?
Yeah.
Second thing, we have the case of opioid, drugs in the north, killing our people, apart from maternal health and the rest. President appointed Minister of Health from the northern Nigeria. When we have insecurity, the northern Nigeria is ravaged by insecurity. Both ministers of defense, substantive and state, national security advisor, chief of defense, he just put them from the north. So he is not only paying attention to the needs.
Are they
delivering?
Because we are now moving to the last part of the interview, which is going to focus on, concentrated on security. Are they delivering? All those people, security architectures.
Yes, they are, except if you
architects.
Except if you came to Nigeria yesterday.
Okay.
But if you were here last week, you would have seen the way the people that were arrested were paraded. Even 2 days ago, what SSS did, you have seen bandits surrendering. So you have seen the efforts the government has made and the achievement we have received, right, in the area of insecurity. Were it not for President Bola Tinubu, by now probably the entire northern Nigeria would have been taken over.
But what I'm about to tell you may worry you, because it's coming. It has come from someone who's considered as a very powerful politician in Nigeria. Recently, Nasir El-Rufai, former Kaduna State Governor, alleged
very powerful in Nigeria.
He's a very powerful politician in Nigeria. A lot of people believe that. I know you would not.
Anonymous people believe in him. Yeah, go ahead.
I said a lot of people.
Yes, anonymous people, go ahead.
You also know how powerful he is, and you know what he is capable of.
But what is he capable of? He has always rode under the shoulder, off of the back of shoulder of a gladiator. His biggest strength that he rides under was President Buhari. You know when President Buhari became president in 2015? If you were selling chewing gum and you were given a platform to run on APC, you become a governor. That was what gave him. And Buhari's re-election gave him re-election. Okay. But when Buhari finished his time, Asiwaju now is running to become president. That now El-Rufai needed to show the gains he has made in Kaduna.
You are ungrateful, Bwala.
I take exception to the personalization that I am ungrateful. I take exception. I am speaking to facts. Now, the fact...
He said it that he has helped bring Tinubu to power.
You say he said it. That's opinion. I'm speaking to facts. The facts I am speaking is that when he needed to show popularity, when President Tinubu is running to become president, the Kaduna state, where he was privileged to be the governor, we lost the Senate seat. We lost the House of Rep seat. Even the president didn't win in Kaduna. If he was that popular, he would have probably doubled his popularity, but Buhari was not going to be in any ticket. So I take, you see, he is somebody I respect. He's like an elder brother, right? But anytime he's overestimated, I intervene to bring him to the level that I believe he is there. I am not saying he's stupid. I'm not saying he's not intelligent. He's one of the pride of the North in terms of intellect, right? But in terms of politics, he's not popular. There are thousands of politicians from the northern Nigeria that are more grassroots political effect than him.
And we hope he's watching, and we hope he will come here to defend his side of the argument. But I will continue to put his words to you and hear your response. Former governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, has recently alleged that your government is secretly paying bandits across northern states to free kidnap victims. These are serious allegations.
So because when he was a governor, he was paying the bandit. After he left, he now thought it continued, because if you have...
No, he said he didn't pay.
Not he said. He said by himself in that interview. The interview you're referring to may have been the interview on Channels
TV, yes, definitely.
And let me even on the side say
last Sunday,
that the only reason you are able to call his name is because this is a verifiable thing. It's not anonymous. That's why I question anonymity. Because I know I'm coming. I'm not attacking you. I'm attacking the anonymity excuse that the media hide under to mirror the agitation of elite.
But specifically, Nasir
So because you have a cogent fact now, you were not ashamed to call his name. That's what I'm saying. You could have as well said a popular Nigerian without mentioning his name. The reason you want to mention his name...
This is punchy.
They're all...
And I want to...
Is hunger of the ordinary Nigerians no more punching than an opinion of somebody who has served as governor twice?
Is Nasir El-Rufai making a serious point?
No, the point, you see, don't deflect.
No.
You said
My job
you
is
said
to
the
put to
reason,
you the
no,
questions.
no. You said the
And
reason,
you're the one deflecting.
excuse me, you
You've
can't
been
take
deflecting. Okay.
I said
Okay.
that to show that when you have a concrete report, you call sources. That means you know the importance of sources. Because you know this is somebody that said, and you can put him, you could have said, and a politician, but you mention his name. Then you said,
it carries weight.
You said this
His
is
name
punchy.
carries
Then
weight.
I now say, is Nasiru's opinion more punching than the hunger of the ordinary Nigerians that you refuse to mention their name in anonymity? But let's keep that by the side, and let me respond to his point.
Please respond.
Nasiru El-Rufai in that, and always watch what people say so you can quote them properly. El-Rufai said it is that when he was a governor, it was a national policy coordinated by the office of the NSA. That means he isn't even referring to this NSA.
Okay.
When this NSA became NSA after he stopped being a governor. But he was talking about when he was even a governor. Let me finish now. Then he now used the word, and it continued up till today. You remember that?
Simple past?
He said, and it continues to today, right?
Okay.
So what he's saying is that he was a participis criminis in law.
Meaning?
Somebody who participated. Participis criminis is a context in which you participated in what you're complaining about. Okay. But in the strict sense, participis criminis is somebody who participated in the crime. Okay. Right? Okay. So now he comes out and he's now kicking against it and then wants to indict NSA. Okay. And while we talk about media must always have context, it's very important media have context. Nasir El-Rufai has been having problem with NSA. When he started criticizing the president, he now and the videos is all over. It's not a hidden thing. He even said he has problem with him. He said we were friends, but we are no longer friends. So this is base attack.
We cannot take his words
because
seriously.
The NSA issued a statement and said what he said is not true.
That's what you're saying? No, he's personalizing things?
Yes.
Even when he's talking about serious security things?
No, see, I said this cup is red. You said it is not red. If you, the media, you are satisfied with his allegation, but you are not satisfied with the response of NSA, then do investigation. Okay. That you can't form opinion. Now he labeled allegation, even though the general principle of law is that he who alleges should prove. But the media don't even need him to prove.
But it
is enough that you label the allegation.
He said he has documents and he has proof. But when it's
so if I were you, as the members of the fourth estate of the realm, so you don't project and promote propaganda and fake news. When if I come to your platform and I say something that you know is outlandish, it will behove on you to keep putting pressure on me until I provide the document.
My job is when I host Nasir El-Rufai here on this seat, I would pepper him.
You don't need to host him as a member of the Nigerian press.
He said he has documents. How can we get
Have
the
you
documents?
contacted him?
We're trying to get in touch with him, but he's been very...
I will send him a message today after I leave here that I was on your show and you are demanding the proof. I will leave it there.
Thank you so much.
I'll do that.
Okay.
If you like, we can stay live this and I will send the message.
Okay, no problem.
If you want something
no problem. We trust you. You can do that. Finally, let's move on to the last part. 2027. Do you have hope, despite all the ADC coalition and so on and so forth, and the big people that are there? Do you have hope that you guys can make it in 2027?
Yes, but President Bwala, the course is clear. Why? Because we see what the government is doing, which is affecting the ordinary Nigerians. And we've been talking about that. They are forcing us to talk politics. We are focused on governance, right? But we are very convinced that President Bola Tinubu doesn't even have a serious opposition. I mean, where are they? Where are they?
Okay.
Who is going to challenge him?
Okay, nobody?
Who?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Some people are thinking that maybe you have politically crushed the opposition by doing one thing or the other.
Not really.
Like that.
Let me tell you,
that happens. That happens in politics, even in America.
But let me prove wrong. I said our administration success made this platform to thrive, and you say no, we could thrive in spite of you. That's what the opposition should do. Okay. You are a member of the media. You say no. It is not your administration that is making us thrive. Whether you promote democracy or not, we will thrive. Why don't you put that same thing to the opposition and say, don't be this baby crying. Prove that you are an opposition. Okay. The reason is because all of them are selfish and they are not united and they don't have an agenda. They don't have concrete plan for Nigerians. They are not phenomenal, like a clap of thunder out of the sky. They are recycled politicians. We call them internally displaced politicians. They are people who have been in government before. They believe that they will always be in the government like a baby sucking the breast of the mother forever. So they don't have the charisma, the agenda, the mindset, the coordination to come and sell themselves to the Nigerian people. That is one of the reasons. But our major reason why President Bola Tinubu will be re-elected by Nigerians is because the things they care about, President Bola Tinubu is handling it. We talked about education, talk about food security, we talked about the economy, we talked about healthcare system, we talked about entrepreneurship, we talked about wide range of issues that concern the Nigerian people. And when you know that I am concerned about your future, and you have seen the signs, you will want me to complete what I have started.
And one thing I like about you is your openness, that's the word. Okay. Your ability to retract your statement whenever it generates controversies. You recently said Lagos is a no man's land, but you went on Twitter and
I did not retract.
And you said that it belongs to the Yorubas.
No. Don't go.
That's a compliment.
Don't gag. Don't gag. You ask a question, you require answer.
No, it's a
I never retracted. I never apologized.
Okay.
I gave clarification. I maintain what I said. I gave clarification.
No man's land?
So the context in which I say it's a no man's land, I explained in the same interview that a northerner is the richest man. His business is in Lagos. I also said the Nigerian people, they are interested in Lagos. I now gave an example of other cities of the world to say that the reason why I said Lagos is no man's land is not as if that benefit will only go to the Yorubas. But who is mad enough not to know that Lagos is a Yoruba land? I mean, even if you are coming out of the beer parlor and you're heavily drunk, and they say Lagos, you will say it's not Yoruba land. Okay, say Kano is an Igbo land or is Yoruba land. Even this FCT Abuja that sits the seat of power, this FCT, you can't say it's a no man's land. There are people that historically were natives of that place. The point is
nobody can claim ownership of Lagos?
Lagos is owned by the Yorubas, but Lagos benefits everybody, hence the infrastructure in that Lagos.
That's why I said I like this part of you. Thank you so much indeed, Daniel Bwala, for all the debate, the pushbacks, and all the clarifications. It's really been an honor and huge delight hosting you on the show.
Thank you.
And I hope it's the same.
Yeah. So let me take this opportunity to say I am impressed by your interview, because this is the first time I'm meeting you. I have not seen you in any platform before, and the professionalism you attach to what you're doing is quite impressive.
Thank you, sir.
Because I am from the North and I have a passion for growth of the North, when I see people from the North who have before now been shying away from the media coming out, I can only but support them.
Thank you so much indeed. I really feel honored. Thank you very much indeed. Tonight's conversation has raised tough questions and offered even tougher answers. Nigerians are watching closely, weighing promises against performance and asking, is renewed hope turning into real change or just another slogan? What is clear is that the stakes could not be higher. With insecurity raging, the economy biting, and 2027 already on the horizon, here on the PAPShow, our duty is to ask the questions that matter and keep leaders accountable. Well, no matter how uncomfortable it is. Let the conversation continue beyond this studio, in your homes, communities, and online. Remember to subscribe, like, and share our YouTube channel. It is at PAPShow NG. Until next time, remember, democracy only works when citizens stay involved. I'm Umar Isa Dandago. Thank you very much indeed for staying with us. Good night.